I'm Owen Big Glen. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Okay, we're into spring 2022 here. I want to give you, as you do every quarter, frontline stories here on what the current market is doing. Especially, I'm going to talk about here the downtown Vancouver condo market, but we'll also include Mount Pleasant in here, Kitsilano, Fairview, Cambie Corridor. So the Vancouver condo market, which has just gone absolutely crazy here the last 60, 70 days here or so. I'm seeing a huge price surge here in sold prices, new record price, crazy new price per square foot benchmarks that are being set in many of these good quality stratas. And we're talking a very large surge here in the last 30 days. So I've been putting it out on Twitter here. I have been involved in some just crazy bidding wars on these. These are real high quality one beds. And remember, I always point this out, it's a tale of two markets. It's all over the place. There's probably 200 one bedroom condos currently listed in Vancouver. Some are good, some are okay, some I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. But the real good ones that I'm consistently getting my buyers into, the bidding wars on these are pretty fierce and setting crazy new all-time high watermarks for price per square foot. Huge surge here. So I'll give you some examples. I'll give you one here that I was involved in a couple weeks ago. This is a prime strata in Mount Pleasant, one of my favorites. I've got probably 7 or 8 clients in this strata. Some principal residence buyers, quite a number of investors. As a matter of fact, over the last 3 years or so, any good one bedroom that gets listed in here, I'm either buying it or trying to buy it. I'm offering on it. Some I get, some I don't. I don't let too many of these pass by in this strata. You might get 4 or 5 of these get listed every year, and I'm involved pretty much in all of them. And again, some I get, some I don't. But I had one, we'll call it 3, because I'm not sure when I'm going to post this, but let's call it 3 weeks ago, I sold a nice one bed in there on the buying side to an investor client. It was priced at $699. There was four offers on it, plus ours. We got it for $755, which is a new all-time high. $755K, one bed, one bath, prime strata. Had to go over ask, as you can see there, subject free. 2 weeks later, this is just last week, another prime unit gets listed. This is a better unit. This was on a higher floor, little nicer outlook, mint condition, so it was a better unit for sure, but the same square footage. One bed, one bath. It was listed for $749,000. I offered on it, so it basically listed right where my last one had sold 2 weeks prior, which is what happens. When you get these new selling high watermarks, that usually sets the stage or sets the bar for the next listing. And that's how you get these crazy jumps in prices. Listed for $749, I offered on it, of course, because it was a prime unit, and we went way over asking. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you right now, we offered $850,000 on this unit and still lost. It sold for $870,000. $870. So just to give you an idea, the one I sold 3 weeks earlier was at about $1,230 a square foot. This one just sold, now it's a better unit, but still, $1,367 a square foot. $1,367 a square foot. Now, mind you, grade A unit, but I can tell you a few years ago, units, one beds, one bath like this, maybe on a little lower floor, were selling for around $1,100 a square foot. So that shows you, we had a $125 price per square foot surge in just 3 weeks there. Mind you, again, better unit, but same square footage. So that shows you the surge here. I just had my assistant here run off just the sales for good quality one beds that I follow just in the last week here. And we're talking on the low side of $1,182 a square foot up to this one I just told you in Mount Pleasant at $1,367 a square foot. I can tell you these last year were selling at $1,100. Some were selling at about $1,070 a square foot. So these are up between $150 to even $200 a square foot in the last 12 months. Again, this is the best of the best, though, that I'm pointing out here. I've got about 9 listings here. There's one here in Yaletown, very basic building. It's a good strata. It's about 14 years old. good location in Yaletown, but nothing fancy. Very basic finishings. These were selling a year ago at about $1,100 a square foot. One just sold in there last week for $1,273 a square foot. And this is on the 14th floor. And again, nothing fancy here as far as finishings, no concierge, no air conditioning, just a good basic strata. So price per square foot has really skyrocketed. So what is the reason for this? And will it last? No, it won't. It never does. It's almost a bit of a perfect storm here right now, and I think it'll probably continue this way through the spring. But it's a number of things. No inventory, as I've done many blogs about here over the last year or so. Very little inventory, and when you trim it down to the real high quality stuff, the grade A stratas, the good locations, the buildings that are well maintained, the unit itself might have a nice outlook facing south, nice balcony. Those are as rare as hen's teeth, and I'm pretty much involved in the good majority of them I'm offering on. I have a big enough client base. I'm always working with buying clients, principal residence buyers, and then I've got a list of investor clients I've kind of got carte blanche with. If a good unit comes up and I don't have anyone actively I'm working with, I will send it off to some of my investor clients and say, here's a prime one bed, one of my favorite stratas. We should maybe throw an offer in on it, because they don't come up that often. But no inventory, especially on the high quality stuff, for sure. Inflation, of course, is running hot. Cash is trash, and you're seeing this playing out in the stock market, even though we've had a 10% pullback here. But it's temporary. Probably pretty good buying windows right now on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. We'll see. But cash is you're losing money with cash when inflation's running at 4, 5, 6%. So people want to get their money working for them. Low interest rates, yes, they're going to be going up a quarter point here and there, and probably 3 or 4 of them this year, but make no bones about it, as I've been blogging about for a while. Interest rates are in a historic dreamland right now, and will be for a long time to come. Even if they bump interest rates up a full 2 percentage points and you get a prime or variable rate at 3.2, that is still incredibly good interest. A low interest, and you're doing a tremendous amount of damage to the principal with every mortgage payment. The tenancy situation or the vacancy situation to rent a good quality condo downtown is probably the worst I've ever seen, and it could get worse. Stay tuned. I'm going to be doing lots of blogs on tenancy and the lack of good available rentals. Rental rates have skyrocketed. You guys know how I feel about renting. In the short term, no problem. In the long term, you are going to be devastated financially in a city like Vancouver. You do not want to become a renter for very long. It's fine if you're saving for the down payment for a few years. After that, you should get in the market. Even if you can't get into downtown Vancouver, start with a Motel 6, a cheaper unit on SkyTrain out in New Westminster or Burnaby or Richmond or whatever. Get your foot in the door. Then you can always move up market to buy that Yaletown or that West End condo from there. Get in the market. People are realizing that rents have skyrocketed here. You're getting nothing for it. Interest rates are low. Your cash is trash. So it's a bit of a perfect storm here. COVID restrictions are finally kind of coming to an end here. Hopefully we'll be back to pretty much normal situation here later this spring or summer. Immigration is starting to come back in. You're going to start to see people putting units back out instead of 1 year empty vacant lease, putting them on furnished rentals, Airbnb, so that will tighten the rental supply even more. So it's a bit of a perfect storm here, and that's why I've been seeing these huge surges in prices in just the last 60 days on the high quality condos. One beds especially. As you move up the food chain, into the 2 and 3 bed luxury condos, it's nothing like this. Prices are up there, and they're getting pretty close to record-setting prices on those too, but you're not getting the 10 and 12 offers on these really high quality, like you are on the high quality one beds. And the units tend to sit on the market for 30, 40, 50 days because it's a much more scarce buyer when you're paying $1.8, $2 million, $3 million. But the one bedroom market under 800 or 850 for the good high quality stratas I like to go after is ultra hot, and it's a bit of a perfect storm. Again, is it going to last forever? No, it's not. Maybe later this summer it'll probably start to cool. These markets like this is what they do. They take these crazy surges and then they level off, maybe go down 5%, stay flat for a year, and wait for the next leg up. But 2 or 3 more quarter point interest rate hikes will put a cold bucket of water on it. Maybe we start to finally see a little bit more inventory as we move into our busy spring market. And then, of course, there's always that buyer fatigue. Eventually, the buyer fatigue sets in, especially after spring. In the summer, people tend to go on vacation, take a little bit of break, realtors go away. Maybe then we'll see a little bit of a reprieve from what this current hot one-bedroom condo market is at right now. I'm Owen Big Glen. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to all my new subscribers. Thanks for everyone that continues to buy and review my book on Amazon. I'll see you next week.